I think
So
that,
if you're gonna use a transactional style relationship dynamic, these details need to be explained so the woman don't feel like, oh, he just cut me off. Like, damn, nigga, you could have told me you wanted me to get, what you say, it's Trav Gawk 3000? You could have told me you wanted Gawk 3000 every Thursday.
yeah, you
I
kind
would
of
have been, I would have
speculate
been
that's what.
giving it to you. But I'm saying it's a communication issue.
Why do you assume he didn't communicate?
I mean, we can. If the details aren't laid out, then we reserve the right to make assumptions.
We're saying it's love bombing, but there was no manipulation that she said. So I thought that this was. I thought she was in an abusive relationship. So I assumed that that's what she was talking about. I thought she was going to say he did this to me and he did that to me, just to say somebody stopped. I agree with you guys. Like she could have not been reciprocating. She could have been annoying. She could have did a lot of things. She could have been immature. And so people can change their mind. They have a right to. I always used to say, like, hey, if you ever change your mind, just let me know. Like, and I'll go. You ain't got to say nothing to me. I'm out. Right. So, and Durbin was saying how you needed to have a reward before you do the work. But sometimes, like, that's why people are stuck, because they feel like I'm not gonna work hard on my job because they don't pay me enough. But in reality, if you work at your maximum potential, somehow, some way, another door opens and you get a bigger opportunity. And it's because you are lackadaisical or giving 50%. That's why you keep getting the same results. So you don't always have to see, all right, I'm getting this out of something, so let me go ahead and try my best. Sometimes you just give your all, and you start to grow as a person. You start to do things on your own. You start to make your own opportunities. So I just think that that's why it keeps a lot of people broke, thinking like that when it comes to jobs.
Thinking
But
like what?
I have to get a return before I even start working. Like it has to be a reward. Like,
So do you go to work knowing that you're not gonna get a paycheck?
are you here right now? Are you getting paid? Maybe you getting paid.
I'm asking you a question. Do you go to work knowing that you're not getting a paycheck?
I have my own business, so yeah, I work for free sometimes. Yep.
I'm talking about working for someone else.
It doesn't matter. Work is work. So now when I do get paid by somebody else, I can appreciate it even more,
Okay,
because I knew what it took to build to make that paycheck happen.
I think when me and Sweetie had a conversation, we were talking about being able to know that, hey, look, the amount of work I do will be appreciated by the company, and then they're having certain policies, certain uh, pay upgrades and positions available. Like a lot of companies will tell you that they have a good rate of promotion within the first year or 2 years.
What if you work for a small business, right? It's your family business, but you get to learn a lot of things that you can run your own business. This is potentially $1 million business per year, but they're only going to pay you pennies. If you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, he only paid them $2 an hour. He said, I'm not going to pay you anymore. But eventually that guy became rich. So it's a different mindset is what I'm saying.
I
A
think
lot
it's
of times,
logical for I think everybody has. I think it's logical to know that if you can earn the company more money by putting in more work, then the returns are gonna come back to you.
but it's not always about more work, because you can work hard and not smart. So if you're strategic, I like your strategy. I'm just saying it's not the only way to think. If you're strategic and you like, you know what, I'm gonna do this on my own. Like every job I had, I did above and beyond. And then all of a sudden I'm put in the backup manager, and then I'm the manager, or I'm not saying manager in every case, but I like when I was in middle school, I didn't know how to jump double dutch. They put me on the B team
What?
with the big kids, right? So it was a bad team, right? But the good team, one girl, she had a bad attitude. So I just kept coming. It was really embarrassing. But one day she messed up and I got her spot. So I took that lesson and saying, you know what, I'm gonna always play the backup. I'm gonna get warmed up. I'm gonna play the backup, and next thing you know, I'm gonna be the light that's shining. So if you think like that and you're like, I don't gotta get paid for this. Like you join the sports team in middle school, you don't got to get paid for that. Certain things you don't have to get paid for. You're just growing as a person, and now you have a bunch of skills. A lot of people don't have no skills because they're not willing to work on themselves, but they want the money.
I
Does
think
that
we
make
I
sense?
think we speak in the same language. I think the semantics is the issue. I agree with you that if you do play a sport and you play at a competitive level, when your number is called, you're gonna be put in the starter lineup. But I do know there's something internal in the mind whenever you out there working out, getting your reps in, and you working hard in your game to see if you could get any playing time. The end goal is to get into the starting lineup. So at the end of the day, the same point still remains. You're still trying to get that reward being in the starting lineup, but you don't know when it's going to come.
But you saying that you have to be guaranteed so hard.
Well, I think
you know what I mean?
So everything is situational. So I think in the situation that you're bringing up, then yeah, it makes sense. And that's why he's able to agree with you. But if you're in a situation where you have a job, because I've worked a job where you was paid by the hour. So it didn't really matter how much work you was doing. They're still not going to reward you. The minute you mess up, you F up, they're going to can your ass because you're just a number. You know, like they're going to fast somebody else to replace you. So it's up to you to assess that situation and to understand now you can work hard and hard. And sometimes you're moving too fast. It's unsafe. Well, that's when the accident or injury happens. So you have to pace yourself. But I'm not about to overwork myself if you know that that's not what you want to do for the rest of your life. Now, if it comes to, I think sports is different because everybody's competing and it's competition. I don't think it's competition at certain jobs. Like if you're a police officer, I don't think you out there trying to be super cop going out there, make all these damn arrests. And I mean, you might get promoted or something like that, but ain't nobody trying to do all that.
So let me ask you this, Lapeef. I know we don't really question the moderator, but I think this is a chance for you to shine, brother. All right. So check this out. Let's say me, you, let's say Mr. M. White is the supervisor. He's 19 years and 18 months. 19 years and 8 months out from retirement. And me, you, and Trev could be promoted to that position, and we get a higher salary and more leadership or whatever, or more obligations or whatever. Wouldn't you work harder until your number's called? Or wouldn't, like, you would know that, hey, look, he's leaving soon. There's this communication going around the peers that work there to say, hey, look, man, that position is coming up soon. You can see the reward in hindsight, so you start working harder. But Sweeney, he just got here yesterday. He is not finna work hard as me, you, and Trev because he didn't have the tenure we have to even get considered for the position. You get what I'm saying? So he don't see a reward for it. So therefore, he's not going to even be trying to do overtime or anything like that.
Well, I think you forgot the fact. I think Sweeney is connected. Like he was brought in because he knew somebody.